Hey guys, welcome back to the Back in Time podcast. I am your host Kyle Autry. Joining me tonight is JD. My co-host is always JD. It's been a long day, man. I've got the mumbles going on. What's up, man?
The mumbles, stumbles, and McDonald's grumbles. I don't have the McDonald's grumbles. I ate a healthy dinner, so that's how I'm feeling. I'm going to have a turd coming out of me soon, but no big deal.
Good stuff. And then one of our favorite guests to have on, we got Big Ben, the Angry Dad. What's up, man?
Oh, yeah. Not doing good. You know what I'm saying? Just taking it easy. Just rewatched, this movie right now, right before we literally jumped on. I was like, let me get it one more time.
Yeah. Now please fill me in, because I saw this in the theater. Is it on Peacock for free?
It's on Peacock for free. My son
for free.
For free. He's like, look, Dad, it's on Peacock for free. Let's watch it. And I was like, well, due to our cable streaming service that we have, Peacock's free for us anyway. So
yeah.
Oh, nice.
That's a good deal. I mean, we're gonna get into this as we talk. I mean, this is a spoiler review of Halloween Kills. So
Big time.
If you haven't watched the movie, pause this right now, because the rest of this is a spoiler. Michael dies. No, I'm kidding. But the movie did really well at the box office, considering the fact that it's free on Peacock, but it did 50 million opening weekend.
Well, you got to imagine, man, how many people. This is like one of those ones that you have to go to the theater to get the experience. Right. And for those who can't go, they're like, all right, guess what? We're going to be here at the house. So you have that option. But the thing is this is something I definitely wish I would have seen in the theaters.
Right. Yeah, I have to say I saw it on Sunday night. I went to the 7:50 showing. When I came out, it was pitch black. AMC's they're just letting it go. I mean, I don't think they're even cutting the grass anymore. So there's no lights on. They're just bare bones at this point. And I was like looking behind my shoulder. I'm like, fucking Michael around here. It was one of those feelings, but I mean, it was cool in the theaters. There's just a different vibe going to a movie theater to watch a horror movie. So a lot of tension in there. JD, how was it? You watched from the comfort of your home, did you not?
I did. I threw this bad boy on in the middle of the workday. So if my company's listening, I was not working. I was watching Halloween Kills because still working from home. But no, and for what it's worth, I mean, Peacock does cost a penny if you don't have cable service. So technically I paid for it, but I like to think that it was free. And for what it's worth, I mean, for whatever little bit that Peacock costs, it's worth it to watch this movie.
For sure. And you have a month to binge watch The Office, because that's on Peacock as well. So, potato.
Also, too, WWE Network is on.
Oh, shoot, yeah.
Peacock. So if you have Peacock, you get to watch basically all the pay-per-views for free, too.
Yeah, I'd pass on all of that right now because AEW is so much better. I'd been watching me some WCW Nitro, though. That's what I do.
I'm in the middle of watching Untold seasons where they're just going back talking about like all the old school. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Untold.
Is the Owen Hart in your house on there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Bold.
Well, that one's gonna be. It's on there, but not that one part.
I was watching that when I was sitting there.
Oh, you're talking about Over the Top. I thought you were talking about
No, I'm talking about the event itself.
Yeah. They cut that part, but
they cut that part. But I was live watching it when it happened, though, too. Just like you said, I was like at the house when that actually. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
so crazy.
Yeah.
So shout out to Peacock for landing a really big box office movie to put for free. But now let's. I want to kind of start with expectations. Like, what were your expectations going into this? I'll start with you, Ben. Obviously the Halloween reboot of this series of reboots came out in 2018. What was what were you thinking, kind of going into Halloween Kills after watching that 2018 version?
Well, it's. I liked it because it had a good buildup and it had good action. But this one, I thought it was going to have almost the same pace, but it wasn't. It was like the pace of this was so much better. It almost made me feel like I was watching a different movie. Yeah. And it was just like, it's like this quick snap. And I was like, what the? Like, really? Right off top? I was like, So
Yeah.
it was
They
way
didn't
better
waste
than I
any
thought.
time. They did
Oh,
not
yeah.
waste any time.
None.
JD, you recently just watched the 2018 Halloween. I know you're not favorable of that movie, but what was your expectation going into Halloween Kills?
So I, for the first time, watched the 2018 days ago. I had no interest in seeing it. This reincarnation, whatever the hell we're calling it, when it came out, because I thought it looked like shit. And in watching it, I was right. 2018 was shit. So I had very low expectations. And to me, that was kind of a good thing because I knew it couldn't be worse than what I just watched.
Okay. Yeah, I don't agree with you about 2018. I like the 2018 movie. What did you not like about it? I mean, it's a horror movie, so it's not going to win Academy Awards. Like, what do you just didn't like the story, or
I would not say that it's a horror movie.
it didn't scare you at all?
There were no scares.
Huh. I think you've seen too much. I mean, 'cause there's
I've seen some shit.
there's that bathroom scene's pretty brutal where he drops the teeth and stuff,
Yep.
and then like that nothing there did nothing for you, huh?
It came out of nowhere and had no payoff.
But that's the thing, though, too, is like it almost to me, like that bathroom scene that they had, if it would have just had a little bit of writing on the bathroom door when he was using it, and it said, at this time, and then all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? Jim Carrey walked in, and then we had a whole Dumb and Dumber scene.
You're telling me there's a chance. All right. God, I love Dumb and Dumber. Have we done that one on the podcast, by the way? I don't think we have. That's
a missed gem.
Go to add that one into the list.
right. No kidding. That's got to happen soon. Yeah, I mean, my expectations, I mean, they weren't super high just in the fact that I wasn't like, oh my God, I have to see this movie. But I've watched 12 Halloween movies now. I'm too invested not to watch this one. It's like Fast and Furious. Like,
you got to see it.
I guess give me another one. But I thought the trailer looked pretty decent. It was a bummer that it got delayed for an entire year because I think originally what I heard the original plan was, maybe correct me if I'm wrong on this, guys, but I had heard that they were going to put out Halloween Kills and then the third movie was going to come out like a month later, like 45 days later or something like that. And we were getting Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends like back to back.
Oh, Sandy, I
going
don't
into
know.
October.
I didn't hear anything on that, but that would definitely have been fucking pretty badass.
Yeah, they were planning on doing them back to back.
Okay.
And obviously the world that we live in sort of shits down our throat nowadays for good quality content.
If that's true, then have they already filmed the third movie or is that getting filmed like right now? Because I guess my timeline is thrown off now because of COVID. So I don't know. I guess it really doesn't matter. I mean, this movie clearly looks like it was filmed like back to back too, because the actors haven't aged like the teenage actors.
Yeah.
I mean, gosh, they did a great job, I think, of matching up like what they were wearing in the first movie. There's a couple cool additions. I guess I want to get into a little bit of the casting as well. Obviously, Jamie Lee's back. You've got Judy Greer's back in this movie. Nick Castle's back as the Shape. You've got Officer Will Patton, who we last talked about, JD. Actually, this is one of the episodes you missed, but Coach Yost, remember the Titans, all the way back in our archives. Yost!
Strong
God, I love
side.
that. You don't pull out my kid. Yeah. Anthony Michael Hall in this movie as Tommy Doyle. Ben, what do you think about him as Tommy Doyle?
I think he did awfully well. You know what I'm saying? Especially with that bat. I was like,
Yes.
all right. You know what I'm saying? I definitely like that call back to fucking, Tombstone right there. You know what I'm saying? Right on the bat. I was like, all right. I like, you know what I'm saying? I like the direction this is going because this is the first thing he grabbed for too. He's like, I ain't fucking around because I got it.
Yeah, it's interesting. He's never really stopped acting. He's pretty much worked consistently since like 1979, 80, like early 80s. But he's really kind of reinvented himself in the later part of his career. He's done some really strong movies. Like he was in Foxcatcher, he was in Live by Night, he's in War Machine, and now here he is in the Tommy Doyle role. I really like that they brought Tommy Doyle back, JD. I mean, that take us all the way back to the original.
The original.
Yeah. What did you think of Anthony Michael Hall here as Tommy Doyle?
I think that he did a fine job.
Yeah.
And I think that he's a great actor, and he was well placed. And the commentary of why they didn't bring Paul Rudd into the fold, I think, is very unique. We haven't covered 6 yet.
No.
Where he plays Tommy Doyle, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, sure does.
Paul Rudd. And I think the decision to go a different route was probably well thought out.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it had to be because, like I said, the way everyone else's stature is, the time placing, Paul Rudd is literally immortal. He does not look like he ages a day, so he would not line up with the rest of that cast.
Right.
No. I think that came out in 95. Paul Rudd looks like he's aged 4 years since 1995.
Reverse.
Right.
We met him at a con a few years back, and in person, he wears his wrinkles. He wears them well, but
you're saying makeup is helping him out quite a bit.
It's a good friend to him, but like in person, he looks every bit of his age.
Okay, fair enough.
I respect
Great for his age. Great for his age. But
looks good on camera, but when you get close up, then you can see it, huh?
He's got that constant filter on.
Yeah.
But his breath smelled so good, guys. Like, I have to let you know, it was just this
interesting
green breath. I was just in heaven. I was like, oh, I can sniff you all day, Paul Rudd.
I think I kind of have like a stank shit breath going on most of the time myself, but that's good to hear for him. Some people got to cover it up. There's a couple other really, I just love this casting on this movie on some of the guys they brought back. You got Sheriff Brackett's back, and it's the original actor from 1978, which is pretty awesome. Charles Cyphers. And then also they brought back Nancy Stevens as Marion, who's the nurse from the car scene. And they brought back Lindsay, Kyle Richards, who pretty much left acting in the 80s and then kind of hit it big as a reality TV star. So, I mean, what did you guys think about having some of the OGs all the way back? I mean, 40-something years later.
It's a great callback, man. It makes the movie feel so much more like it was. You know what I'm saying? It's like almost like, it almost makes it feel like how everyone was talking about the first one, where it jumps from part to part and almost like retcons a lot of the movies that happened before. But because they did it with all these original characters, it almost feels like it's its own timeline now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was something I loved. And JD, I want to get your feedback on that too, because you didn't like the 2018 version. I think this one we get a lot more context, a lot more storytelling. And then also, not only do they bring back cast members from 78, but they also shoot scenes in 1978 that look like they were done in the 70s. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it kind of took me for a surprise at first when we dove into these flashback scenes for like how great they looked, and especially what they did with Loomis's character.
Nope.
Whoever played the Loomis role, wow.
And I forget the guy's name, but he's known as being a Donald Pleasance lookalike. Okay, so they found somebody that maybe, was he like from Cons or something? I don't remember the full details of, because I think he was at least an established actor for some bit, but they did not CGI shit. They brought in this guy and they just boom.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like Tom Jones Jr. plays him, and then he's voiced by Colin Mahan. So they got a voice actor and then obviously dubbed him over.
Yeah,
practical effects right there.
Yeah, but Tom Jones, he has worked in Hollywood, part of the art department on a couple pretty big movies, including The Abyss from 1989. So he's got a pretty extensive filmography on IMDb here. Now, that threw me for a loop because I knew that they were flashback scenes, and then he comes running in, and I'm like, how are they doing this?
Exactly.
What is going on? Like, I'm looking around the theater. I'm like, is anybody else freaked out right now? I'm like, you shot him 6 times. Like, I'm like, man, they freaking nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it was cool. I liked the way that they did it and the way that they tied it back together with the characters and the story. I think that some of those shreds are very little positives outside of just gore and entertainment factor that this movie brought.
okay.
And we can get into some of my.
I do want to get into the gore, and I want to talk about what we liked and what we didn't like, and then we'll give like a final overall grade on the movie. I think that'll kind of wrap up our episode as far as the timeline of what we're going to go through. So let's talk about some of the kills. I thought the kills were next level. I'm not gonna lie. Like no one kill was the same as the other one. Like he found new creative ways to just left and right, just like taking a chainsaw to dude. The light bulb was was probably my favorite.
Oh man, I was just gonna say the same thing. That was so like that's unique. You know what I'm saying? A complete psychopath would only think of that shit, and it's like those fluorescent light bulbs ain't easy to wield like that.
Right. That's why I think JD's seen too much because he liked the light bulb.
I love the light bulb. Have you guys ever broke one of those? Light bulbs? They're so much fun to shatter.
Yeah.
And then for him just to like look at the light and be like, "It's gonna get dark in here, motherfucker. I'm gonna break this bitch and I'm gonna stab you in the neck with it."
Yep. Slowly too, just like. Oh, the soundtrack, the sound, everything, the way they tied the murder, you can hear the skin rip.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The attention to detail to the to each kill was just beautiful.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And I think you'll like this reference, Ben. JD, I don't think you're going to get it, but a light bulb, that's another day in the life at MDK. Murder, death, kill, baby.
Murder, death, kill. I was just watching that documentary.
That's a wild documentary.
That's a wild.
We've talked about it on the podcast, but if you guys have never watched Dark Side of the Ring, I think it's the best show on television.
It is.
And,
it is.
Yeah, the Nick Gage episode will make you literally sit there and just go, no, this isn't real. This isn't real.
Yeah.
My God. So anyway, so that was my favorite death scene was the light bulb. Is that for you guys as well, or do you guys have something different?
You know what though? The one of the other death scenes that I thought was pretty freaking gnarly was in the car when he was shooting it when the nurse was shooting him. He took a couple. Right, he literally ran out of bullets. But when that dude that was he's a nurse, but playing a doctor, tried to choke him with a pair of stethoscope, and he turned around and looked at him and just kind of just stabbed him in the eye and through the brain. I was like, ouch.
That was a cool setup to that because she thought she had one more bullet left in the chamber, and she's like, "This one's for Dr. Loomis," and Michael was like, "Hmm?" And then it clicked, and I was like, "Oh shit, she's dead." And then dude in the back, like, why did he not get out of there?
Yeah,
I don't wonder.
Yeah, exactly. And then it was funny because like he literally just turned his head and was like, "You're not choking me."
Yeah. Yeah. The only thing I didn't like about that scene is I think they left it on him just a couple seconds too long because the way he dies, I was like, "Oh, come on."
Yeah.
He was like.
Well, you know, not every actor's going to be a good actor.
So that was my only gripe with that scene. But I thought the chase, like with Kyle Richards' character into the to the woods, was pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
as well. A lot of tension there. I thought she was going to die and she didn't. So I thought that was nice that they kept Lindsay around. So maybe we'll see her in Halloween Ends. I don't know. JD, what was your favorite death scene?
I gotta say, you guys kind of stole my thunder a little bit for two of my favorites. So
okay.
I will throw in. I'm gonna throw two more into the mix.
Yeah.
One, we get, if I'm not mistaken, the first child that Michael Myers kills, and he just saws off that annoying little kid's head.
Yeah.
So I appreciated that.
The annoying
I don't
kid.
like children.
Well, he had it coming.
He had it coming.
His name was probably Charlie. Go ahead.
I will throw in his first, I think it's his first gunshot kill of how the nurse dies.
Yeah.
And that caught me off guard. I was like,
big time.
I was like, she's got him. Boom.
It was almost like that. what was the name of that movie with Christian Bale in it, where they did like gun kung fu? It almost made me feel like that, where he kicked it and they made her flip the gun around, and I was like, what?
I can't think of what movie you're talking about. 310 to Yuma?
No, and I think Equilibrium.
There we go.
Oh.
Yeah, good movie.
All of a sudden, he was trained.
But I didn't find it to be unbelievable.
No,
Right.
I was just like, old lady, she's got a gun, she doesn't know what she's doing, she's outmatched, and bing bang boom.
There you go.
You know what the problem was that she had the gun cocked to the side because it was a kill shot.
Kill shot.
So I think we all have great death scenes. For me, I'll throw one more out there just because it was really shocking. I did not expect Karen to die at the end of this movie, even though her like death scene isn't like, it's not the coolest one in the movie. No. It's probably the least actually, but it was like the one that you felt the most, where you're just like, oh wow, Laurie's daughter's dead now.
Yeah, you're gonna really let that happen right there. I was like, what?
Yeah, that was unexpected, especially after all that had just happened with Tommy and everybody else. I was like, okay, there's still more. Like
that's
okay.
It's so crazy because I was like, as I was watching, I was like, these guys are fucking stomping a mud hole in him, and it's getting down. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, it's like, is someone hit the ID clip code on Myers? And all of a sudden he's in the God mode, just like, no.
Yeah.
I love that. I thought that if we're talking about that scene, the mob scene.
Yeah.
If this is the conversation that we're going to have.
Okay.
I was so excited to see that because it reminded me of like a kung fu movie where you've got the one outmatched ninja who is just way too badass. It's like they did it in Old Boy. They did it in Daredevil, and so now to see the villain to actually get his badass moment, and I was waiting for it. You know, like I was like, okay, there's no way that they're going to kill him. No. So I thought it was a little bit. You knew it was coming. It
No. It was like almost foreshadowing it happening because it was just like she just walked away, stabbed him. And it's like, oh, okay, I'll just leave it to you guys. And what do you do when you're the criminal boss? Guess what? Oh, things are taken care of. I'm going to walk away. And what's the hero do? Kill everybody, then come for the bad guy. And it was just a reverse role swap. I was like, are you serious?
Very cool. I think it was, I didn't like the way it was shot. Personally, I think some of like the quick cuts and the lingering cuts were a little bit like self-serving, especially with Tommy's death.
Sure.
And it was just like, here we go. And he's all like, oh, here I come. And then he's like, oh, no, don't kill me. And it's like, which one is it? Are you scared or are you pumped?
Right.
And then he got the old Huckleberry.
This is, I wanted to get into what we didn't like about the movie. For whatever reason, JD, me and you are not on the same page with what we like and don't like about Halloween. This was my only gripe with the movie, is I did not like the gang scene. I wanted to see Michael get his ass whooped and lead us into the third movie not knowing what happened to Michael. And the fact that he came back and like killed everybody, I want to say beat him up, literally killed everybody in sight and then went and got Karen, that was the part I was like, I don't like that. I wanted to see Michael get his ass kicked and to think that he was dead, and then we get to the third movie, Halloween Ends, and somehow he's still alive and kicking. That's what I was hoping for. I didn't get it. I mean, I understand where you guys are coming from with the Kung Fu story, but that was the only thing I did not love about this movie.
Well, I'll tell you right now, the only thing I didn't care for is not just the unbeatable feeling you have of Michael Myers, because that was like the one thing. It's like, you know, you have to give the thought of them able to win, but even when he was getting jumped, it just didn't feel like that.
Right. And so I'm going to double down and I'm going to split the difference, Kyle, between you and say I didn't like the ending with Judy Greer. I don't think that the movie had a proper ending. Like, we had this mob scene where we had them have the upper hand for the babiest of moments
Okay.
before he comes, and there's literally an Achilles tendon slash in there.
Brutal.
Brutal. What was that? Urban legend that they did that under the car in?
Yeah.
Which was always like, I'm always like so scared to go to my car at night because I'm like, is there somebody under there that's gonna slash my tendons?
That's why you wear boots.
Right.
Good point. That's a great point. I do think that the pacing was off for a lot of the movie, and I think there was little to no story.
So, real quick, just to piggyback off of your pacing, was it too fast for you? Too slow? What did you not like about the pacing?
I want to say that it was too fast, but that led to it to be very entertaining.
Okay.
It was almost like a torture porn movie where you knew every 7 minutes somebody was going to die.
Okay.
And so, like, for me, like, the practicality of why he's in these various houses, just with the drone, with the family with the drone.
Yeah.
With the like, well, why the fuck is he killing them? He has no reason, purpose, motivation. Why is he in the house? And he's just gonna, and that's fine. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a great scene. But in terms of it being good movie writing, disagree.
Okay. Yeah, I love the both of them were fantastic, but the guy that gets killed in that scene is Lenny Clark, and he was one of my favorites on Rescue Me, the TV show. If you remember that, he's been in a ton of things, but that's one of my favorites with him. He's also Uncle Carl in Fever Pitch. Yeah.
It was funny how he just kept getting stabbed, even though he was already dead. He was like, "One more."
I did.
That part was cool.
That part was really cool, and I think that goes into the just how psychotic Michael Myers is, because he's like, knife, stab, but there's another knife, so I gotta stab him.
You know, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
It's 2 for 1.
Little knife, big knife, stab, stab, stab.
See, that part got the arm hair up for me. Like, I was like, okay, like, he's just gonna keep stabbing this dude until he has nothing left, and then what's he gonna do to her? And she has to sit there and like watch it. And that's where I was like, oh man, this sequel is next level on the kills.
Well, and it's to me, it's almost like, you know, that torture porn, almost like a Hills Have Eyes-esque of just him psychotically just like
hostile. Yeah.
And the thing that we haven't talked about, which I laughed, I LOL'd real hard once during this movie, and it involved Little John and Big John. We have not talked about them yet.
Yeah, we haven't talked about them yet.
But before we wrap this up, let's talk about Little John and Big John. There's a moment in the movie where they know that somebody's in the house, and they're playing. It's almost like Marco Polo, but they're trying to like make sure that they're okay. Like, Little John, it's like, Big John. They just keep going. I'm like, one of these Johns is getting killed first. I don't know which one it is. And it ended up being Big John. But those guys were hilarious.
They were.
And the way that they dealt with the trick-or-treaters, the kids, I thought was fantastic. And I thought we were going to maybe get one more of that.
Oh, you know what? My son had just made. There was a reference to Season of the Witch in this one with the mask when they found all the bodies, and my son was like, "Did you see that?" And I was like, "Yeah, I see it." He's like, "For Season of the Witch." And I was like, "Oh yeah, it's all the masks."
That was great on the playground.
Masks.
Yeah.
So the one thing that made me laugh about the Little John and the Big John, and I don't know if you noticed it, but when the kiddos are in the house, and then the record strikes.
Yep.
And they head up the stairs into the study, and the camera pans down across the picture of Little John and Big John from when they're younger, and then pans down to Little John and Big John in the same position as the picture. I lost to think Michael Myers saw that photo and was like, dude, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Am I doing this? This is happening.
This is happening.
He didn't say anything, but he probably did the old head tilt. He was just like,
hell yeah.
Let's go ahead and stack them. All right.
That attention to detail to me was just next level. I was just like, this is fucking awesome.
Do you guys like the fact that they were blurring his face with the mask. Did that bother you at all? Because there's several scenes where we could have saw his face and they blurred it. And I thought that's interesting because it protects that idea that we're just never going to see his face.
Yeah.
I liked it, but it after a while it started to get a little distracting.
Yeah.
Like I was just like
kept tugging at it.
Yeah. Too much of it.
A little too convenient, but it does set up the subplot with the other escaped convict.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can't have that without. And I thought that was a cheap little side quest.
It was very uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? It's like, first of all, why in the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Is like, this dude's like, I need help. No, that's him. We're gonna fucking kill him. And then next thing you know, everyone's going rabid after trying to kill this guy. And then when the whole jumping out of the fucking building, holy shit! You know, they might as well just show the dummy hitting the floor because that's how it made it feel.
Yeah, it was very Dawn of the Dead-esque with like the way that they approach just the mob mentality. And it was just like, oh,
okay.
And I thought it came a little out of nowhere.
It did. To me, it felt like that.
But and especially when he's disguised in the doctor and nurse's BMW, like why is he in there?
Yeah. Like, how'd he get in there?
And it's Michael Myers. I saw it's Michael Myers. It's like I get what it sparks. I know what they were going for. Mm-hmm. Did they achieve it? I disagree.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's fair. Let's give the movie a grade, and then I want to do one last thing before we wrap it up. So, Ben, overall, we'll go with the old high school grading scale. What do you give this movie?
High school grading scale, man. Shit. So we're gonna go A to F, or we're gonna
A to
F. I would give this a definite B minus.
Okay.
Because it caught my attention. It had me sitting down. I enjoyed it, and just a few little odds and ends but you know what I'm saying, definitely I give it a B minus.
Okay, JD.
I'm in the same ballpark as Ben. I'm gonna say a C. I want to give it a C plus, but if it was on a scale of 1 to 10, I would be giving it a 6.5 maybe.
Okay.
And I think that it's worth watching. It's worth every penny to see. But that does not make it a good movie.
Okay. And I'm going to give it a solid B. I thought it was good enough to warrant a B. It's not an A. There's faults in the movie, but overall I thought it was pretty good. So we kind of covered everything there. B minus, C, wanted to give it a C plus. We're all kind of in the same range, it seems like. So prediction time. What do you expect, Ben, from Halloween Ends? How's this thing end?
All right. This is how it ends. Dynamite, Michael Myers, body explodes.
Okay. I like it. JD, what about you?
Chop his head off.
Chop his head off. Okay, that would have been the way that they thought they killed him in H2O. That'd be interesting to end that way. I think there's a huge spoiler out there on YouTube. I don't want to be the one to spoil it for anybody, but if you go watch a Jamie Lee Curtis interview talking about H2O, she lays out how she would have liked to have seen the character. They seem to be following it to a T, and she said that she would never come back unless this thing happened. So I think I know how it's going to end, so I don't want to give my version of it. Because I feel like that's the only way they got her to say yes is if they made it that way. So I will just say that I think we will see the end of Michael Myers. But we will also see the end of another character. There we go. I've said too much. Ooh.
Oh my gosh. Two real quick before we cut.
Yeah.
Just sub questions. How do you feel about the title Halloween Kills?
I actually like it.
Yeah.
I like it. It definitely killed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's the highest kill count of any Halloween movie.
Yeah,
for sure.
It nailed the pumpkin right on the nose.
I feel like it should have been called Halloween Evil Dies Tonight.
Ooh, that would have been pretty good too.
Yeah.
That would have been pretty good too, but Evil did not die.
No, it did not.
I like that they didn't call it Halloween 2, so I'm happy with Halloween Kills.
Okay.
And I like the fact that Halloween Ends kind of goes along with it. So he kills, it ends. We're going to have some finality to this trilogy. And then, of course, Michael Myers is never going to end. So in 5 years, we'll have a new version by some other director, and
Retcon.
we'll be back here to talk about it then, hopefully.
Okay, that was my second question, is what you thought about, will it actually end?
No, as long as there is a breath in somebody with the last name Akkad, this series will continue to live on.
The money the franchises bring.
Yeah. The franchise rights alone will make us completely rich. That's a Ghostbusters quote, which leads me to my next review that we will be doing on this channel from a movie review. Will be Ghostbusters Afterlife. Big Ben, I'd love to have you back on for that one.
I definitely would love to be on it for that one. I am a huge Ghostbusters fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're exactly 30 days away today.
And I am Red-Tay.
I'm expecting big things. I've read a couple reviews, just the headlines of them, and they've all been super positive. I know there's some ones out there because people don't like Ghostbusters and they reviewed it, but you're going to get those. But overall, I'm excited about that. Ben, plug, I was going to say podcast, but plug your podcasts and tell everybody where they can find you.
Well, I'm the Angry Motherfucking Dad. I do I Married a Bigfoot, Your Dad's Action Movie Podcast. And you know what? I also do a YouTube channel with my sons, Team Bowman Snack Attack. But if you want to find me, just look on YouTube, Instagram, and you can find this podcast and our podcast on every platform out there. Spreaker, Spotify, I can't even do it right now, man. I'm trying to think. No, I can never nail it, but I can't right now.
I feel like I can almost do it for you. I've heard it so many times.
Oh, that's it.
If you want to listen to this, catch on all those platforms. You want to watch the shit, IGTV, YouTube. 3 times a week, unless it's a holiday, because what happens if it's a holiday?
On the motherfucking weekend, on the holidays. Eh?
There you go. JD, you've got a side quest, a secondary podcast. Plug that one.
So SideQuest Podcast is rolling into our second year. We've reformatted everything that we do, down from 2 episodes a week to 1 episode a week. So check out SideQuest Podcast, where we do all things nerd pop culture and go from the main quest to the side quest about these conversations. I know we will be talking about Halloween Kills on the episode that's coming out this week, and we will be touching all things spooky and SideQuest Podcast. It's fun.
There we go. And I've got a quick update for Chafing the Dream. I talked to brother Pat, who's also recovering from COVID, doing better. He's on the other side of it. Chafing the Dream will be coming back in 2022. New episodes are coming. We don't want to stop it. So I guess we've just been on a bit of a sabbatical for the last couple months, but that will be returning. So you can check out Chafing the Dream on all those podcast platforms. And we'll probably reformat and come up with some new stuff, and we'll probably have Ben on there as well, so you can check out that. And then, as he already mentioned, you can find us everywhere, any podcasting platform that you want. Just make sure you don't speed through those commercials. We're getting a little kickback from Spreaker, which I'm enjoying. First time we're making a little coin with this podcast, so we'll take it. But in the meantime, we'll be back one more time this month, one final episode to close out October, and that is going to be The Faculty, which you guys helped us pick on Twitter. That'll be coming next week on the show. Until then, catch up on all our archives and all the great episodes we've been putting out. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.